もうちょっと。やばいやばいやばいやばいやばいやばい。絶対反応しちゃダメ。確かここに。
Source: Miruko-chan. Welcome back to Ayafa Cutie. Like and subscribe so you can get 100 girlfriends. The story begins with a girl named Miko Yatsuya waking up in the morning to prepare for school. She hears a noise from the window and opens the curtain, only to see a dog barking randomly, just like my shooting skills on FPS games. She thinks nothing of this and prepares to go to school. As she's leaving, her parents tell her it'd rain later that day, and so she thinks she should buy an umbrella from a store. At school, her friend Hana Yurikawa suddenly grabs her from behind. This is normal, as her playful friend often does this in the morning. Hana notices a keychain on MC's bag and asks where she got it. MC says she got it at the bookstore, and the two girls chat in the hallway. Suddenly, Yuria Nigiridu, a classmate, pushes past, saying, "Out of the way." She's an eccentric girl, and in surprise, both Miko and Hana move aside. During the class period, MC is looking out of a window when she notices a ball rolling around on its own. Further strange things have been happening. During the lunch break, Hana told MC something. The other day she got hungry in the middle of the night, but when she got up to eat, she noticed there were only leftovers in the fridge and her clock stopped working. MC plays along, not really believing any of that was real. When she went to the restroom later, she heard an unsettling sound in the toilet, though this isn't anything new, as anyone who's been to a public bathroom can attest. After school, Hana says goodbye to MC, but apparently her keychain has fallen off. MC, ever the nice person, went around school looking for it. She found it under a desk, but when she picked it up, she heard another weird sound. MC looked around, but she didn't see anything. Late that night, it began to rain, and she ran out of school to the nearby bus stop. It's starting to pour, and she's soaked. She takes a picture of herself and sends it to Hana, but then she noticed that she received the same picture on her phone. Then again and again, until it changed into a horrifying zombie-like image. MC was so scared that the phone fell from her hand. After calming down, she realized that it was probably just a hallucination and picked her phone up again. It turns out, she never got those strange pictures after all, and Hana just asked if she was alright from the rain. As she rubs her eyes, MC's world changes all at once. She looks up, and standing right in front of her is an ominous ghost, repeatedly asking if she can see it. Absolutely terrified, MC decides to ignore the ghost and doesn't start freaking out until she leaves the bus stop. But the horror doesn't end here. It's a horror anime after all. While MC was brushing her teeth in the bathroom, she sees a handprint on the mirror and wipes it off, thinking it was her brother Kyusuke Yatsuya. She blinks, and all of a sudden she sees another ghost towering over her with a twisted head. Like before, it keeps asking her if she can see it. And again she ignored it, saying that she thought something flew into her eyes. It watches her for 20 minutes before disappearing. This incident really rattled her, so after brushing her teeth, MC went to the kitchen for some salt, poured it into a bowl, and put it on her bedroom floor. But as she lies on the bed, the salt spills everywhere, and she feels something moving under her duvet. She lifts it and sees a ghost lying on her stomach, saying, "Mama, mama." MC realizes that the salt didn't work and decides to buy prayer beads. And like usual, she pretends to not see the ghost and doesn't show any expression of fear. She closes her eyes, and before she knows it, it's morning again. She goes to school thinking that everything yesterday was because she was tired and stressed. However, this time, as Hana grabs her back from behind, it causes MC to jump and scurry to a corner where she has a small panic attack. Her friend asks if she's alright, and she gives a rather unconvincing yes. In fact, as they continued talking, MC sees a ghost out of the window. This shouldn't be possible, since they're on the 3rd floor. This ghost's head twists its way through the window and right in front of MC, staring directly at her. It asks if she can see it, and MC is frozen in fear as Hana, who can't see anything wrong, just thinks her friend is staring at her, about to propose. Fun fact, despite what you might think in psychology, fear and attraction are very similar emotions. The ghost keeps saying, "Good morning, sensei," but when MC doesn't react, it disappears. MC, however, realizes that she can indeed see them. In the locker room, while Hana and MC are changing, their conversation turns to ghosts. Hana says she's scared of them, and when she becomes afraid to get her phone from her locker, MC steps up to do it for her. However, given that this is a horror anime, you can probably guess that there was in fact a ghost in the locker. MC couldn't react to it, so instead, she just pretended nothing was wrong and snatched up the phone. Then she slammed the locker shut before quietly freaking out. In the classroom, while she was talking with Hana, MC noticed a ghostly hand on the book Hana was holding. It was slowly crawling toward her melons and even wrapping around her body, so MC pretended to trip and knock the desk away. Instead of saving her friend, however, the ghost detached from the desk and clung to Hana's back. Unsure of what to do, she brought her to the nurse's office, where she tried to use hand sanitizer to kill it. It looked like it was working until a head sprung out of the ghost and began to advance toward MC. Fortunately, she wasn't that well endowed, and a bigger victim, the nurse herself, entered, causing the ghost to immediately spring to her. MC and Hana left the nurse's office. MC's understanding of these abominations had just gotten quite complicated. After school, MC and Hana went to the donut store to get snacks. However, as they joined the line to get snacks, MC was on her phone. She found herself accidentally joining a line of ghosts. Hana joked that being on your phone like that might get you killed, only for MC to see that, in the distance, the line of ghosts was being eaten by a much bigger monster. While the pair were coming back from the store, they saw a kitten in a carton. MC was initially glad that there was still cuteness in the world, but as the box opened, MC saw a horrible ghost curled up in the box beside the kitten. The ever-oblivious Hana picked up the kitten and began playing with it. The pair decided to post online looking for possible owners or adopters and made a meeting point in a nearby park, all the while trailed by the strange kitten ghost. There, Hana began playing with the kitten, but as she was twirling around, she bumped into a scary-looking man and retreated quickly to MC's side. As it looked like things were about to get worse, a friendly-looking man called Zen Tuno appeared, kindly asking if he would be able to care for the cat. Hana was immediately charmed by the man, but MC saw the ghosts of many kittens prowling around him and realized he was probably going to murder the cat. The ghost that had been following the pair also stalked off toward the man, giving MC more than enough reason to firmly decline Zen's request. Instead, she insisted on giving it to the scary man Gozuka. Both Hana and Gozuka were surprised that they trusted him with the kitten, but MC saw something different about him. A pair of golden, friendly-looking spirits were clinging to the man's shoulder. Two cats. As they handed the kitten over to him, a warm glow emanated from him. He proved to be quite the gentle giant. As MC watched them leave, she told Hana that you should never judge a book by its cover. The next day, MC was on the bus when she began to feel as if something was wrong, hearing the sounds of teenagers gossiping on a loop. She looked around, but everyone was silent. Just then, a ghost with 4 heads wound around her seat. She did her best not to react, but when she got to her destination, she couldn't press the stop button because of the ghost. After it left, she began to cry. Later, she was sitting in a restaurant when a guy across the room took note of her and thought MC was staring at him. However, she was actually staring at the ghost standing beside him, which appeared to be an obsessive girlfriend. The ghost was whispering her love to him and even licked his face with her tongue. When he started staring at MC, the ghost lady looked at her and rushed over, saying, "You can't have him." To avoid her wrath, MC started watching wrestling on her phone and began to pretend to love big macho guys, which were the complete opposite of the man in the restaurant. The ghost left, relieved that her love was not MC's type. Later, as Hana arrives at the restaurant, the guy tries to approach MC, trying to get her phone number. However, MC wisely declines and the guy's current girlfriend shows up for their date. She's also followed by many male ghosts. 2 players, it seems. Birds of the same feather, MC thought. Hana and MC then go and purchase prayer beads in the market, and MC gives Hana a pair to protect her from ghosts. On their way to get butt buns, a soft and squishy desert, MC and Hana pass through an alley filled with ghosts. Initially cautious when she sees that the ghosts made way for Hannah as she passed through, MC thought that the prayer beads must have been working. That's when a giant ghost with a neck chain showed up. With a single word, he broke the prayer beads. Hannah noticed that something was wrong and turned to help, but MC got her to stop and ended up walking right through the ghost to meet Hannah. However, Hannah's doll had fallen and was now at the feet of this giant ghost, so MC ended up going into the ghost again to fetch it. This made her really uncomfortable, and of course it didn't help that the ghost began to follow them. MC led Hannah to search for a stronger set. They arrived at a mysterious godmother's store. The godmother realizes that MC can see ghosts and quietly applauds her bravery for remaining calm and composed before giving her the most strong bracelet in her possession. This one has a shimmering aura, but shatters instantly in the presence of the powerful ghost trailing the pair. After swallowing defeat, the godmother closes her shop and returns to her village to begin a new life. However, it turns out that the giant ghost had now stopped following them for whatever reason. The following morning, MC's brother Kyusuk shows up in her room to wake her up, having noticed her moaning during her sleep. He asks if she had a wet dream, unaware of the strange nightmares she's been having. Incensed, she immediately kicks him out. Later, Miko and her friend go to the supermarket to get drinks. MC is about to pay when she sees a large ghost by the counter, which is automatically calculating the tax for her purchases. Bewildered, she buys some other things to ignore the ghost before heading to the library. Her brother, meanwhile, has consulted with his friends and concludes that MC might have a boyfriend. He thinks his sister might be in an abusive relationship and follows her throughout the day. MC finds a book about the supernatural, but as she notices a strange ghost on the bookshelf, she quickly puts it away and hurries off. Enter Kyusuk, who arrives wondering what his sister was reading. It turns out the other word that starts with S is also in the area, and books about how to engage in certain acts are right below the supernatural. Thus, Kyusuk becomes even more certain of his suspicions. As MC takes a bath that night, a ghost appears in the corner of the bathroom, and she begins to freak out. She is about to escape when Kyusuk enters, pretending to want to bathe with her to make sure that she doesn't have a hickey. When he sees she doesn't, he quickly turns to leave. He's embarrassed at what happened, but to his surprise, MC tells him that she'll wash his back to have some company and not be alone. Later, they watch a scary movie, but MC sees actual ghosts beginning to appear on the screen, so she gets up and goes to the vending machine to buy some drinks. When she inserts a coin, her hand slips and the coin falls. She bends down to find it, only to see a tiny old ghost scamper off. MC finds it cute and decides to chase after it, dropping another coin in its direction. However, as she enters the alley, she sees that the tiny old ghost is actually part of a large old man ghost, which is eyeing her, looming over her coin. MC follows it and tries to keep a poker face to pick up the coin. But when she gets close, nearly freaking out at the sight, a crow snatches it away and MC sighs in relief as she pretends to chase it. When she gets home, her brother asks her if she brought the drink, and she just tells him that her money got stolen. This once again affirms his belief that she has a boyfriend. The next day, MC tries to eat breakfast with her family when she sees a large ghost around them. It licks her food, and she excuses herself from the dining room, saying she is not hungry. As Miko is about to go, she stops and returns to put some pudding at her recently deceased father's altar. It turns out that her father is actually a ghost, and their unreconciled differences are what's been anchoring him there. In a small yet heartfelt moment, MC's father apologizes for eating her pudding last year, and MC begins to cry. At school, we focus once more on the girl Yuria Nigurdo, who, like MC, also sees things that are not of this world. She's one of MC's schoolmates, and a few days ago was shocked to see the house of fortune teller godmother closed down because she wanted to be the godmother's apprentice. She learns that MC and Hannah were the last customers to see the godmother and had trailed the pair. Yuria realized that MC could also see those ghosts and had noticed a powerful aura around Hannah, which made her conclude that they were a powerful magical duo. Thus, when MC was on the basketball court, Yuria asked to talk to her in private. MC followed and they went to a storeroom where several small ghosts were prowling around the basketballs. Yuria tried to get MC to admit that she could see the ghosts, but MC refused. Unknown to Yuria, MC realized that the fiery girl could only see lesser ghosts and didn't notice the massive one right beside them. Reasoning that Yuria didn't know about the full dangers of these creatures, MC quickly tried to knock her out so that the large ghost wouldn't realize they could see ghosts. Afterwards, she took Yuria to the clinic, where she tried to explain the situation to her without freaking her out. But Yuria misunderstood, believing that MC was threatening her, and began to feel slighted. She resolved to, as she put it, get revenge. Walking home from school that night, MC saw a ghost on the steps of a bridge. As she walked past, it suddenly grabbed her, only for the figure to be an old lady. She appeared to be disoriented, so MC carried her home, where her daughter rushed out, thanking MC. She was about to leave when she heard a strange sound from behind, whispering, 4, 6, 3, 1. This, it turns out, is the ghost of the old woman's husband. MC entered the number on her keyboard and showed it to the old woman. Upon seeing it, she entered the house, then went to a safe she had never been able to open and unlocked it. Inside were items she had long forgotten, including a comb. Upon finding them, she finally regained her sense of self, instantly becoming animated and aware once more, bringing tears to her daughter's eyes. They offered for MC to eat dinner with them as thanks, but she declined, simply happy to have been able to help. After all, she also had a family who would have worried about her. The following day, MC and Hana are returning home from a snack bar when Mako notices that a large ghost has been following her friend. A short flashback reveals more. When Hana woke up, her clock stopped working again and the light bulb in front of their door was also acting up, despite having just been replaced. On her way to school, dogs barked at her, trying to warn her about the ghost. However, she remained oblivious as always. After all, ignorance is bliss. In fact, the two seemed to have a sort of symbiotic relationship. Hana's aura attracted many ghosts, which the large one roasted against her skin before eating them and becoming more powerful. Later, Hana saw a small boy crying in front of an abandoned building. He tells her that his dog had gotten lost inside the house, and despite Hana's fear of such a place, she entered anyway, trying to help the boy. Each noise made her jump. All the while, the large ghost was consuming the minor ghosts they encountered, growing in power. Thus, when MC met Hana later that day, she was alarmed at the thing's size and presence. She decided that they should go to a shrine to pray for her. Once there, they prayed. By the way, Hana prayed for more food, while MC for protection for both her and her friend. When they finished, a disturbance rang through the area as two shrine spirits appeared, resembling fox-masked girls. They fought the powerful ghost, struggling to suppress it. MC is awed at such a thing and can only look on in shock as the three battle. However, the shrine spirits are unable to subdue the creature and are in turn slaughtered. Just as it looks like all is lost, a spirit known as the God of the Mountain appears, annihilating the ghost in an instant, an incident that Hana inadvertently caught on camera. This spirit god bent down over MC's head and declared thrice, before the three spirits disappeared, with the shrine spirits having completely reformed by then. MC did not understand what had just happened. She was grateful for their help, but was understandably wary of these creatures more powerful and possibly more dangerous than her wildest imagination. Meanwhile, Yuria was taking a bath, watching the small ghost in her bathtub. She gets dressed, thinking about how humiliated she was after that last incident, and decides to get revenge on MC. At school, Hana shows MC the pic they took at the shrine the other day and how it had been popular online. MC noticed that Hana was unaware of the fight between spirit and ghost behind them, as she thought only that the weather was not blowing correctly. MC wonders if other people can also see the evil spirits in the picture. As they're chatting, Hana proudly reveals a new camera for them to take more photos with. Trying to protect her, tries to get Hana to stop taking pictures, only for her to take one right then. MC takes a look and is surprised to see a ghost passing behind her at that moment. Unsettled, she wonders what was running behind her. Yuria shows up and compliments Hana's photography skills, causing the happy-go-lucky girl to instantly take a liking to her. Yuria offered some nice places for photography, and Hana gets MC to join with them. This is all according to Yuria's plan, since she wants to get MC to admit that she could see those ghosts. A few days later, the group heads off and arrive at a very dark and quiet tunnel. Yuria tells the gullible Hana that there are great spots on the other side, but both she and MC can see that the tunnel is filled with ghosts. Yuria is quite the chunabu. When MC trips, she believes that MC is using supernatural powers to set up barriers between them and the ghosts. Getting excited, she tries to get MC to admit that there are ghosts here, but MC is anxiously trying to get them to leave. They're delayed when Yuria gets Kana to take a picture, and the worst-case scenario happens. A giant ghost with multiple heads and legs showed up, quickly consuming the other minor ghosts in the area. Yuria couldn't see the giant ghost and began to think MC was exorcising the ghosts. She tried even more to get MC to admit the existence of the ghosts, which enraged the large ghost, causing it to charge in their direction. MC rushed over to pull Yuria out of the way, but just as it looked like the trio was going to die, the shrine spirits once again showed up, banishing the large ghost back into the shadows. They hold up one finger before disappearing. And no, they weren't giving the group the finger, although Yuria might have deserved one at this point. After this, MC suggests they leave the tunnel at once and the terrified Hana agrees. After this incident, Yuria became a friend of Miko and Hana. Days later, MC and her brother are in the fashion store to get a gift for their mother when they find a nice blue gown for their mom. Kyuzuke advises MC to try it first, since she's about the same stature as her mom. MC agrees and goes to change, but sees a ghost lady in the changing room. It tells her she looks good in that gown. This creeps MC out and she doesn't want to change back, which Kyuzuke interprets as MC wanting the gown for herself. They go to get another gift for their mom, which is a pair of cups, one for their mother and one for their late father. On the way home, MC and Kyuzuke are on the train, the little brother sleeping by her side. On the trip, MC notices a ghost in the bus holding an axe, who begins to slash people on the bus one at a time. It looks like it's hunting for those who can see it. If anyone gets up, it instantly goes after them, and MC becomes rooted in place, convinced that it would find her. However, it turns out that the creature is hunting for other ghosts, and its axe only hurts the spirits that are haunting the humans on the train. Although it might not be a good spirit, MC is quite relieved and happy to have survived such an occurrence. MC stood up and got off at the next location, despite it not being the ideal destination. The next day at school, MC and Hana were talking with their pregnant homeroom teacher when MC saw a small spirit entering the teacher's stomach. MC became worried and told their teacher to be careful, to not carry heavy things, and take good care of herself, because she wants the baby to be safe. This causes their teacher Arai to confess that it was her second time. She was pregnant before, but the baby died. MC now understood that the spirit around her belly was likely that of the previous child. Also, it was a brightly glowing spirit, and we all know things that glow can't possibly be bad. This ad was brought to you by the Anglerfish Association. On her way home, MC wonders why she started seeing all of these things and considers confronting her situation head-on. But all of these thoughts would soon be disrupted. At school the next day, MC and Hana were talking in the class when a new teacher entered the classroom. It was Zen Tuno, the ominous man surrounded by vengeful spirits. Hisuki was there as a substitute teacher while Arai was on maternity leave. MC was horrified. He was there to get back at her for denying him the kitten. She began to panic. In fact, there were many more spirits than last time. As Zen began to take roll, a ghostly woman appeared beside MC's window, looking at the class and the teacher. Later that day, Hana forgot to buy a snack, and MC had to wait for her. While standing by a window, she saw Zen, and ominous handprints and splotches were trailing him on the window. She was so scared that she ran into the restroom to avoid him, entering a toilet and locking it. However, another ghost came out from the toilet, terrorizing MC and causing her to run to an adjacent stall, where she encountered Yuria, who was eating in the toilet. A bit of awkwardness later, MC, Hana, and Yuria are sitting in the schoolyard chatting. MC again saw Zen in the corridor before suddenly hearing a voice from behind saying, "Do not look at him." Whatever ghost is haunting Zen is proving to be extraordinarily possessive and dangerous. Hannah says that she's gotten really hungry ever since Zen arrived, so the trio decide to go to a haunted house event to win a free box of donuts. They entered the haunted house, but MC didn't have much of a reaction at all, since she's seen much scarier every day. Despite this, she takes the chance to scream and let out all the emotions she's bottled up. This leaves her feeling so much better, and she's glad she was able to finally act honestly about all the things she's seen. And of course, most importantly of all, they won the free box of donuts. Now, of course, it's time to develop our villain a bit. Zen Tuno, an enigmatic and frightening man, he spends his time locked in his apartment. When his kindly neighbor knocks on his door to give him some leftovers, she remarks that there have been many crows lately due to a suspicious lack of cats. He thanked the neighbor for the food. That's when the neighbor noticed that his hand was bleeding and asked why. Zen said he broke a glass before closing the door, pouring the food into the trash, then washing his hand and leaving his house. At the school field, the students were running, with MC believing that running would lift her spirits. Unfortunately, it appears the field was haunted by a track spirit, which dashed her spirits instantly, no pun intended. Later, MC was in Zen's class, doing assigned readings. He proved to be quite the uncaring guy and never bothered to learn his students' names. As he was calling people to read passages in the textbook out loud, the ghost following Zen was shouting, "Don't look at him." Only MC could see the ghost woman, and she began to crack a bit at the pressure. Zen then called MC to read the passage. She stood up, but was trembling so badly that she could barely speak without sounding like she was in a blender. The ghost was right in front of her, shouting at her to not look at Zen. This nervousness got Zen's attention, and he approached her. MC felt like she was gonna die. Just then, Hannah's stomach rumbled and she pretended to be sick so she could go and eat. MC immediately went over to help her go to the nurse, beyond relieved to be able to leave that room. As they were on their way to the nurse's office, Yuria also saw them and she came to the nurse's office to visit them. Yuria thought Hannah was sick, but MC said she was just hungry. Yuria gave Hannah some candy to eat, and Hannah felt a little better. Yuria said Hannah's life aura will get drained by being around Zen and those spirits. Hannah did not understand, and that was when MC realized that the reason Hannah was always hungry was because of the ghosts around her. Later, MC and Hannah are at the roadside, and Hannah starts eating while calling out to some kids. MC also greets a child looking at her, only for the child to reveal that he is actually a ghost. It rushes towards her, only to be once again intercepted by the shrine spirits. Nevertheless, it manages to crush one of the spirits before its head is blasted off by the other. The spirit lifts up its hand, with 2 fingers this time. Mako realized that the spirit god had said thrice, meaning one last chance to be saved by the shrine spirits. Realizing she needed to do something now, MC started following Zen to see what he was up to, suspecting he was the one killing cats, since there were cat spirits haunting him. After school, Zen found a cat abandoned under a bridge, and MC dashed out to snatch it away. She originally wanted to call the police, but couldn't bring herself to let the cat die as a result. Thus, she grabbed it and ran off. However, while running up some stairs, she tripped and Zen caught up. The cat fled, but right into the way of a nearby car. Zen threw himself in front of the car, pushing the cat out of the way at the last moment. And now, before the final, my writer's sense tells me that it's time to give the villain a tragic backstory. So we flash back to when Zen was a small boy. His wicked mother controlled literally everything about his life. One day, Zen wanted to go to a birthday party, but he couldn't go because of his strict mom. Instead of a 100, he had only gotten a 98. Despite getting a birthday present for his friend, he didn't go due to the immense guilt his mother had forced upon him, and at the playground he destroyed the present. This caught the attention of a cat, which examined the present. It wasn't food, however, but you can guess what happened. Did you say Zen killed the cat out of rage, and his cat-killing addiction started from there? Then you'd be wrong, my dear friend. In fact, Zen carried the cat home and started taking care of him in secret. It became the joy of his life. However, after a few days, Zen's mother discovered it and slaughtered it, causing MC extreme trauma. In the present day, as he's finishing his story to MC, Zen is sitting bandaged in the hospital, alive but greatly injured. The cat survived and is under Maiko's family's care. Zen told MC that it was not her fault that he had the accident. MC apologized for misunderstanding him. She thought Zen wanted to hurt the cat. Zen said he was saving the cats because there was someone in his neighborhood hurting them, and MC finally realized that those cats weren't killed by Zen, but were haunting Zen because, like his own guilt about his own cat, he felt horrible about never being able to save them. Later, Zen's childhood friend, the veterinarian Satoru, entered. He confided in MC how strict and wicked Zen's mother was, and MC realizes that the cause of all of her teacher's troubles was the evil mother, who now haunts him as a ghost. MC decided to attack the ghost directly, saying, "Haven't you done enough? Please set him free." When the ghost realized that MC could see her, she lunged at MC, ready to attack her. Maiko sprinted out into the corridor of the hospital, where the shrine spirits once again neutralized it. But this was the last time, and MC felt a surge of fear and uncertainty as she realized her protection was now gone. However, equally strong were her feelings of relief, now that she had freed Zen of that horrible spirit. As her friends arrived, worried about her, MC watched as Zen's bed began to glow as the cats that had haunted him finally began to leave. Zen was finally coming to terms with his guilt, and the spirit of the cat he had cared for long ago briefly managed to touch his arm, causing emotions to swell inside of him. Again, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, even if you have supernatural powers allowing you to see more than the average person. That being said, editor's note, always be careful around strangers. Better safe than sorry. After they left the hospital, MC and Yuria started talking about the ghosts. Yuria apologized for what she said in front of Hana at the nurse's office. She realizes that MC, despite being able to see those ghosts, does not want to scare Hana. 1 week later, Zen came to adopt the cat, while Kyusu cried because he didn't want the cat to go. However, MC told Zen to take the cat and not to worry about her brother. Zen thanked MC and left. Later, in a shadowy alleyway, a man approaches a cat with a twisted tool in his hand, which he's been using to tear out their eyes. There's a sound from behind, and Zen is there, anger etched on his face. He's finally managed to find the person killing the cats, and there's a taser shock. A police poster the next day suggests the cat murderer himself met an unfortunate end somewhere, perhaps to a certain teacher. MC, meanwhile, dreams about going to the shrine to thank the spirits, but the god devours her, waking her up. She believed this was a sign they wanted her to thank them. Ever since, MC could still see ghosts and scary monsters, but she chooses to keep on pretending and ignoring them. She still wonders why she can see them, but smiles as she comes to a realization. In the faraway province, the old woman from the stall, Mitsu Takeda, was plowing their land to ready the soil. One of their village neighbors saw her working hard. The man mentioned that working in the field is not as easy as selling crystals, and she replied that it was what she needed to get back in shape. The old man told Mitsu he was glad to see her back in the village, asking if she wanted to stay for good. But Mitsu said she's turned over a new leaf and will stay there. A few moments later, Mitsu's son arrived, proposing to take a break. Seeing that her son has become a fine young man, he pointed out that Mitsu doesn't intend to stay there since her fortunes were always spot on. But Mitsu argued that it's already in her past, certain that her powers aren't as powerful as they used to be, thinking it's due to her old age. But the old man mentioned that if she was done with her old business, he would still see her deep in the mountains, so she looked at him with an unbelievable gaze. Then her son approached her, wondering who his mom was talking to since no one else was around his eyes. But it turns out that she was conversing with her neighbor's ghost. The old man keeps complimenting her fortune by mentioning that she was right when she told him he might suffer when he doesn't stop drinking booze. But she doesn't have to be a medium for her to say it since drinking is obviously not good for your health. Deep down, the man knows Mitsu is a good person, so he asks her for one last favor to have closure with his daughter. With that, Mitsu went to his house to be a messenger to him so he could finally be free to leave the world without any heavy feelings. The old man thanked Mitsu for fulfilling his favor, and Mitsu was reminded about her job as a medium. Afterward, she went to the mountain, deep in the woods, to sit by the waterfall. She often went there to focus on her powers and meditate. All by herself, she focuses and feels that her power is stronger than before. But ever since she meets Hana and the MC, Everything is confusing her, feeling like she's inching closer to the other side. After meditating on the mountain, she returned home, and her son notified her that she had gotten a letter. The letter had no details about where and who the sender was. As she opened it, the text, "What can you see?" was written plainly on the paper. She was confused about what it might mean, but the handwriting was familiar. Then her son noticed a photo in the back, so she flipped the paper and saw a screenshot of a Twitter post of two girls in front of a shrine. Mitsu's eyes widened upon seeing the shrine and the two girls, feeling scared. She jerked up in her seat, worrying her son about what was wrong. She grabbed her cloak and praying beads. She couldn't believe what she saw, so she told her worried son that the shrine in the photo did not exist. Her son was confused about what it was about, but Mitsu excused herself, notifying him that she might not return for a while. She knew the two girls in the photo were the MC and Hana, despite their faces being covered. She returned to the waterfall to meditate and regain her powers, coming back to being a godmother again. After that, she must return to the city to find the girls before it's too late. Meanwhile, the two girls are inside the cinema, watching My Neighbor Troll 2. Hana had a large bucket of popcorn in her lap, seating in the best seats in the cinema. MC was confused about why she had so much popcorn. Still, Hana told her that it was for the both of them before Hana admitted that she needed to get her sustenance or else she couldn't make it through the entire movie, confirming our MC that the food was only for her. The show starts and the rules and regulations are announced before the movie. MC was glad to hang out with her friend since it's been a while since they watched a movie together, but a man was standing in front of her seat, keeping her from seeing the screen. Before she could accuse the man, it turned out to be a ghost with multiple eyes on its head. She can't react or she'd be in big trouble, despite struggling to see the movie. After a while in the movie, the ghost turned around, facing face to face with our MC. She freezes in fear as the ghost launches in her direction before going past her toward the man recording the movie. After the encounter with the ghost, MC cried in fear, with Hana thinking that she was only crying because of the movie, comforting her, not knowing what really happened. On their way out, Hana was talking about the happenings in the movie as the MC couldn't say relate because of her ugly view earlier. Still, she was impressed that Hana could eat all of her popcorn despite the gory movie they were watching. In the distance, a mysterious guy was loitering and bumped by the guy recording the movie. The guy was also followed by the ghost earlier, suddenly getting a strange headache, not knowing he was possessed. The strange man could see the ghost too but ignored it. He opened his phone and watched the viral Twitter post of the MC and Hana, seeing the battle happening in the background, not some plain shrine, confirming that it was them in the post, so he followed them. Meanwhile, Yuria was in her room, doing her best to catch up with My Neighbor Troll 1 so she could watch the next movie with her friends, obliviously that they watched it without her. A new Lambda Rabbit merch was notified on Hana's phone the next day. Seeing this, she wanted to buy one, but MC couldn't spot the difference between the new one and the old one, yet she still supported her friend. After their class ended, Zen warned his students to be safe when going home after their class ended since he noticed a strange man loitering outside the school. One girl acted scared, wanting Zen to walk home, only to be ignored like she didn't exist. After their dismissal, MC and Hana went home, discussing how Hana mistook a rock for a dumpling. Then, MC heard a pair of bells, sensing the shrine spirit following. But as she turned around, there was none. Hana saw how MC turned around and thought that maybe she had forgotten something, but MC told her there was none. MC was worried since she's been hearing the bells a lot, thinking it would be better to visit the shrine again because they'd already saved her 3 times. She asked Hana what makes a good offering, but Hana thought it was for her. Afterward, they went to the Lambda Rabbit store to purchase the new merch. Hana went in as our MC waited for her outside by the bench. She was scrolling through her phone when the mysterious man from the cinema sat beside her. He was staring at her with a creepy smile that she hesitated if he was even a human. After a few minutes of silence, the strange man spoke, trying to sell our MC pieces of stone. MC doesn't know how to act or what to do as the strange man talks about the various shapes of the stone, wishing for Hana to get her. Finally, Hana returned, crying because the new Lambda Rabbit was out of stock. MC rushed to her and comforted her, assuring her that new stocks would arrive soon. Then the strange guy spoke, asking if something was happening in their head. At that moment, everybody within a 2-meter radius got a notification on their phone, especially our MC and Hannah. As they checked the notification, it was the strange guy's website. He introduced himself as Shindo Rom. Even with a magic trick, the girls still crept up around him, so MC pushed Hannah that they should go home and wait for the new stock to arrive. But as they were turning around, Rom took out the lambda rabbit to purposely show it to Hannah. This got Hannah's attention, so he approached Rom again. He explained to her that he saw people lining up earlier, so he joined and got one of the merch, thinking it would make a good voodoo doll. Hannah asked shyly if she could have it if he didn't want it, leaving MC dumbfounded. Rom agreed to exchange only if she gets a stone, worrying our MC, although she knows Hannah would easily fall for every pyramid scheme. Then, a multiple step and heels clacking can be heard. It was a ghost of a woman with 2 heads and a bunch of legs. As usual, MC ignored it. Rom was still convincing Hannah with his stones. Seeing that the ghost is approaching, MC tells Hannah that they should go home, but Hannah doesn't want to let the new lambda rabbit go, still wanting to bargain for the lambda rabbit for 10 donuts. Rom wasn't letting Hannah and MC go despite our MC telling Rom they were in a hurry. Rom was still insisting, so MC accidentally smacked the stones from his hands and fell right in front of the ghost. Instinctively, Hannah went to pick up the stones, unknown of the ghost before her. MC also picked up the rocks to help her friend so they could hurry away from it, but when the ghost went near the stone, it stopped, surprising MC. As soon as the ghost stopped, it bent down and uncovered its face, revealing a terrifying face inside its mouth. But MC couldn't do anything or react about it, or else she'll be in trouble. The ghost was about to rush toward the MC, but could not move over the rocks for unknown reasons. After inspecting the rocks, it went away from them, and that's when Rom spoke, saying that his rocks were effective. Rom told her that he usually sells the rocks for $500 each, but he proposed a special offer requiring her to sign up for various perks like discounts. Just when MC got interested, Hannah grabbed the stones and gave them back to Rom, warning MC that his doing was a scheme. Hannah ordered Rom to give her lambda back for $5. Confused about her wording, he gave the toy to her without making a fuss. After the swift bargain, Hannah dragged MC away from him, going to the cafe, but MC was still holding a piece of rock from him. So he gave it to her for free because he knew the MC needed it. They arrived at the donut store, with Hannah happy to have the new lambda rabbit, and MC couldn't stop thinking about Rom and the stone. With that, she scrolled to Rom's website, seeing that he sells the stones for $500 each. She wanted to trust Rom because he seemed to know something, but his website was too shady. After that, Rom went in with his day, and MC picked tofu as an offering for the shrine. That day, Yuria was looking at gurus on YouTube, looking for a legitimate exorcist, but most of them were fakes, so she gave them a bunch of dislikes. She was disappointed seeing the fake ones since it's more obvious than the real ones like the godmother, MC, and Hannah. She kept the praying beads from MC and fixed them herself. She felt guilty for calling the guru on YouTube a fraud when she's also a fraud herself. She wore the praying beads and tried it out like the MC, but nothing happened, unsurprisingly. Afterward, she can't help but admire MC's amazing power, but still chooses to keep it a secret from everybody. There's also Hannah, who boasts an incredible amount of life aura and can replenish it by eating. Their low-key power makes Yuria question her ability, hoping to train under Godmother's guidance so she can fight alongside them someday. Yet, she denies that she cares about them. Then her phone suddenly played another video of a fraud exorcist, but this time, it was Rom. He introduces himself in the video, displaying a small man inside the glass. Seeing this surprises Yuria, as Rom explains that he will do a magic trick with the thing inside the glass. Seeing the creature inside the glass alone assured Yuria that Rom was a big deal. However, the comments under the video say it's a scam, oblivious of what is there. Rom introduced his ordinary power stone as he made it through the glass. He explains that he has practiced the trick a lot but still gets nervous when doing it online. He placed the stone above the glass and covered it with a handkerchief as he did magic things with his hands. Yuria was anticipating what had happened as Rom uncovered it. showing the stone inside the cup, and the small man disappeared. Rom was proud of his magic trick, convincing viewers to buy his power stone. Yuria was shocked that Rom was the real deal and the first real one she had seen on YouTube. The comment section was oblivious to what happened and the small ghost man in the video. She checked Rom's channel and watched another video of him purifying an apartment with a drone. Rom explained that the drone was filled with holy water, and he sprayed it over the building as ghosts in the building dissipated and faded away. With that, Yuria concluded he was a alleged exorcist, ignoring the comments saying he was a scam because they're ordinary, unlike them. Because of that, Yuria subscribed to his channel, and his website popped up, showing the Power Stone for sale and free registration to join his small community. Since it was free, Yuria didn't hesitate to sign up, knowing he was legit. Meanwhile, MC was preparing her shoes, ready to go out. Kyusuk asked her where she was heading, so she told him she was shopping with Hana. Kyusuk was looking forward to watching a movie with MC, so she assured him they would watch once she returned from her errand, promising to buy something for the upset Kyusuk. She opened her phone and saw Hana's sad reply about declining to hang out with her. MC lies to her brother and friend because she needs to visit the shrine by herself, hoping they like tofu. After some travel, she arrived at the mountain where the shrine was but only saw worn-out stairs and signage. She didn't remember the place looking like that, so she was confused. She thinks she might have got the wrong entrance, but her map and GPS lead her that way. Uncertain, she still went up the stairs to leave her offering to the shrine spirits, unaware she had strayed off the trail. Her GPS keeps reminding her that she has reached her destination, but she doesn't know that place and sees no shrine. Bad ghosts and spirits linger in the woods, prying on MC as she stands there in fear, wishing Hana was there with her. Meanwhile, Hana was at home getting busy with half eating and half baking the cake until she formed a 70% eaten cake and called it candle cake. She thought MC was calling out for her but brushed it off anyway. Hana thinks it's artistic enough and took a picture and sent it to our MC. She's waiting for her reply because she usually replies immediately, but since she doesn't receive any, Hana packs up the cake and goes to MC's house. Kyusuk opened the door for her, acting smug as usual. Hana packed the cake inside an alcohol brand, making Kyusuk think she offered them alcohol. As Kyusuk accepted it, Hana asked if MC was home, to which Kyusuk thought they went shopping together. Hana explained that she was in her house the whole and MC wasn't replying to her text or answering her call, so she went to visit her. But Kyusuk remembers her sibling telling her she'll be out with Hana. This made her worry, and she went to look for where she could be. But back to MC, she was surrounded by terrifying ghosts, panicking that her phone wasn't picking up any service. The ghosts are trying to pry on her again as her eyes water. To escape them, she pretended that her GPS was working again as she hurriedly escaped there, only to be tripped by a branch. A ghost was so close to her face as she stood up that she wiped her tears, pretending that dirt had gotten in her eye. To calm her down, she started to think about her favorite snack and snack as the ghost closed the gap between them, suspecting that MC could see them. Before they can attack her, the ghost of the shrine annihilates the ghost, saving her again. MC was confused about why she was saved again when they had already saved her the third time. As the ghost was to attack her again, the shrine ghost was ready to defend her as MC prepared the tofu as an offering. She clasped her hands, thanking them for saving her, but the shrine ghost looked at her as insects covered the tofu, meaning they didn't accept her offering. One of the shrine's ghosts seemed enraged as it pointed at MC while the ghosts were about to attack her. She thought it was over for her, feeling scared. But a hand tapped her shoulder, and it was Godmother. MC remembers Godmother as the bracelet lady, feeling relieved she's not alone. Godmother casually asked her if she was lost because of playing Pokemon Go, telling her that place was filled with mosquitoes and offering Mistdew an insect repellent. With a serious face, she told MC to follow her before acting cool by spraying the repellent to where the ghosts were. She was indirectly talking about the ghost as they walked to the other side of the mountain. MC was sure Godmother could see the ghosts too, as she followed her accordingly. It still bothers MC about the two shrine ghosts, not knowing what to do about them since she'll never forget the sound of their bells. Godmother also heard their bells and saw them as she turned around. Her eyes widened, seeing them in person until they faded away. Godmother seems to know who they are, but they must escape the forest first. They reached the other side of the mountain, where they thought it was safe from bad spirits. Godmother sighed in relief as well, admitting that she got scared facing off those scary ghosts. MC felt like she needed to explain and told Godmother with a hint of panic in her voice that she was about to visit the shrine there. Then her GPS wasn't working properly. Godmother interfered with her, knowing that MC was confused about the happening and she was willing to explain later. She asked for MC's name, as she acknowledged how brave she was to handle the situation well for her age. This will be all for today. We'll next cover the manga chapters, so make sure you guys stay prepared and subscribe. Stay safe. Bye.